to be recognized as one of the best who have ever played the game. It's a very humbling thing.
It's a huge honor for me. You know, it's the elite of the elite. I'm in that class.
I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me.
I've always loved this game, but when I got that knock on the door, it was telling me, Robert Brazil, we love you back.
That gold jacket solidifies your professional football career.
Wow, one-handed catch by Randy Moss.
When I put on a gold jacket, it will be a validation that all this is real.
The Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions.
Yeah!
When the sharps boys wanna come,
Simply amazing.
I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown 'em out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who
And he is making it look easy.
this is me.
The Redskins have an NFL championship.
Over the years, watching the guys that have received the gold jacket, it'll be amazing to me to be included in that group.
Hall of Famers, you can call them crazy because we are a little bit, but crazy for greatness.
This is me.
Welcome to our guests just joining us from the other rooms. I'm Tim Plasto, chairman of the Unscripted Round Table Committee. At this time, please silence all mobile devices. Also, for your safety and the safety of all those in attendance, please take a moment to locate the nearest exit in the case of an emergency. This is a special moment in time for our newest enshrinees into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. On behalf of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Enshrinement Festival, including Enshrinement Week powered by Johnson Controls, I'd like to thank Jeff Padgett, owner of Icon Crystals, for the generous donation of the Crystal Awards again this year to the class of the 2018 enshrinees. Today, we're in for a special treat, an exciting up-close and personal interview with members of the class of 2018 enshrinees. They truly are a class of character. We will now have the presentation of colors by the United States Army, Cleveland Recruiting Battalion, Canton Army Recruiting Station, and the singing of our national anthem by the Jackson High School Teachers Quartet.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in the air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you to the United States Army, Cleveland Recruiting Battalion, Canton Army Recruiting Station, and the Jackson High School Teacher Quartet. We have got a fantastic MC this year for today's festivities. He's actually back for his 4th year this year in a row. He began covering his stint covering the NFL, this time for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, after covering the Miami Dolphins for the Herald in the mid-90s. He also covered the NBA for the Washington Post and a variety of other sports in a 25-year career that started in Richmond, Virginia. In addition to his role as senior writer for the NFL.com, he contributes inside reports and analysis and moderates panel discussions on NFL Network's signature show, NFL Total Access. He also hosts the network's Pro Football Hall of Fame specials during the season, after the Super Bowl, and during the enshrinement weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Steve Weish.
All right. Yeah, Canton, Ohio. Yeah, it's that time. You know, as Tim said, I've been here 4 consecutive years, and each year it's new because we're honoring a new round of greatness, a new round of heroes. And coming to Canton, Ohio, I was speaking to some people last night at the enshrinement ceremony. You breathe a different air. It is an air of respect. It is an air of honor, of sisterhood and brotherhood. And it is so incredible to understand that Thursday night we kicked off this week with this football game with the Ravens and the Bears. Football season is here. Yeah, it is here. And then we have the gold jacket ceremonies. And we see these big, strong men, like my guy Robert Brazil over here, wither in emotion. Because it means so much to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We heard the great speeches. We heard everything so wonderful about these men that we honor, who played and gave so much to this game, who this game gave so much to. But as I look out here once again in the Civic Center, it is about the fans. You all have spent your time, your money, your years, your emotions that these guys laid bare every weekend to support them, to root against them. But you are here. And I say this every year that without you, pro football wouldn't be what it is. These men wouldn't be who they are, and we wouldn't be sitting here. It's the realest. It's because of you. And I love, not only the support you showed them, but when I see all these gold jackets roaming around the facility and around Canton all week, and the love they show you, it is spectacular. And lastly, Canton, Ohio. It is so interesting. A few months ago, my wife and I were at a function, and somebody was rude to us or shut a door on us or something. First thing my wife says, "You know that wouldn't happen in Canton." Yeah. My family loves Canton. Its people and its spirit. And to the gentlemen wearing these gold jackets, Canton, Ohio is more than a museum. It is where you are forever in the lifeblood of this community that has accepted you to be one of its gold jackets. So congratulations, gentlemen. All right, up next, please welcome the Honorable Mayor Thomas Burnaby, the mayor of the city of Canton.
Thank you, Steve. Love your work on NFL Network. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Canton, and welcome to the Enshrinees Round Table. I am honored and proud to be mayor of the great city of Canton, the Hall of Fame city. What an incredible weekend. Every event, from the first play to today's round table, has been special and memorable. And every event seems to top the next. The spotlight of the football world is on us, and Canton is shining brightly. To everyone who makes this weekend so special, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. The enshrinement last night was what this weekend is all about. The values of the Hall of Fame, commitment, integrity, courage, respect, and excellence were on display everywhere. Last night's speeches left me in awe of our 2018 class. Thank you. The round table is a fan favorite. We get to hear the inside scoop, what it's like to be on the bottom of the pile, the locker room banter, the jokes, the bickering, the eye gouging, the gossip. Sounds like just another day in the office, right? Why not love it? Once again, congratulations to our new enshrinees and welcome. You are forever a part of our Canton family. Canton thanks you, and Canton welcomes you and everyone here today.
All right, thank you, Mayor Burnaby. Well, this year marks the 55th anniversary of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Enshrinement Festival. And for the past 2 weeks, Stark County and the rest of the football world have been energized by the excitement surrounding the enshrinement of this year's class into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The last evening, members of the class of 2018 were officially inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and Canton is now and forever their home. We have a little news to hand out to you as well. As you notice, only 4 of our gold jackets are here. Bobby Beathard, our Hall of Fame contributor, could not make it. And also Brian Dawkins, who shook us to the core with his speech last night, had a family medical emergency and could not make it. And I'm asking all of you to send good vibes and good prayer to him and his family in a very tough time. Also, Bears linebacker Brian Urlacher had a personal situation and could not make it. Even so, we are still going to recognize these great men and Hall of Famers at this moment. Bobby Beathard. He was noted for his adept eye for talent through a career that spanned more than 3 decades. He was an integral part of Miami's 2 Super Bowl teams, and he became Washington's general manager in 1978. Under his guidance, Washington made 5 playoff appearances in a 6-season span, including 2 Super Bowl titles. He was named general manager of the Chargers in 1990, and by 1994, San Diego advanced to the franchise's first Super Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for Bobby Beathard. Brian Dawkins. Brian was a second-round pick by Philadelphia in 1996. He was the Eagles' defensive MVP 5 times, and he helped Philadelphia to 8 playoff appearances. He started in 4 NFC Championships games, 1 Super Bowl. He was named All-Pro 5 times, named to the Pro Bowl 9 times. He was voted to the NFL's All-Decade Team of the 2000s. He intercepted a pass in 15 straight seasons. He recorded 37 career interceptions for 513 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he logged 26 career sacks. He was born in Jacksonville, Florida. Brian Dawkins was presented by former teammate Troy Vincent. Congratulations to 2018 enshrinee Brian Dawkins. Brian Urlacher was the 9th player selected in the 2000 draft by the Chicago Bears, and he was named the Defensive Rookie of the Year after registering a career-high 8 sacks and 2 interceptions. He was named the NFL's AP Defensive Player of the Year in 2005 after helping to lead the Bears to the NFL's fewest points allowed. A very passionate team leader, and he's the Bears' all-time leading tackler. That is saying something. He led the Bears in tackles 8 times. His career stats include 41.5 sacks and 22 interceptions. He's a 5-time All-Pro and voted to 8 Pro Bowls and named to the NFL's All-Decade Team of the 2000s. He was born in Pasco, Washington, and Ryan was presented by his former coach, Bob Babich. Congratulations to Class of 2018 Hall of Famer, Brian Urlacher. And now, let's acknowledge the 4 men who've been with us all week, and let's start with Dr. Doom. Robert Brazile Jr. was drafted 6th overall by the Oilers in 1975. He earned Defensive Rookie of the Year honors and helped transform the franchise, highlighted by 3 straight playoff appearances, and he registered a career-best 185 tackles in 1978. He had 13 interceptions and 14 fumble recoveries in his career and was All-Pro 5 straight seasons. He selected to 7 Pro Bowls, and he named the NFL's All-Decade Team of the 1970s. He was born in Mobile, Alabama. Brazile was presented by his father, Robert Brazile Sr. Congratulations to 2018 Hall of Famer, Robert Brazile. Jerry Kramer. Jerry was a 4th-round pick with the Packers in 1958, and he anchored an offensive line of the Lombardi-era Packers who won Super Bowl I and II. He also handled the team's place-kicking duties with 177 career points on 90 extra points and 29 field goals. Named to the NFL's 50th anniversary team, the NFL All-Decade Team of the 60s, and the Super Bowl Silver Anniversary Team. Now, Jerry was a right guard and has played in 6 NFL championship games, 5 of which were won by the Packers. Born in Jordan, Montana, Jerry Kramer was presented by his daughter, Alicia Kramer. Congratulations to 2018 enshrinee, Jerry Kramer. Ray Lewis. Ray was a 1st-round draft pick by the Ravens in 1996, and we know he was a hard-hitting linebacker and team leader on an overall punishing defense. He started at middle linebacker in 4 AFC Championship games and 2 Super Bowls. Twice he was named the AP Defensive Player of the Year, named All-Pro 8 times, and voted to 12 Pro Bowls. He was selected to the NFL All-Decade Team of the 2000s and is the first player in NFL history with 40 career sacks and 30 interceptions. He was born in Bartow, Florida, and Ray was presented last night by his daughter, Diamond Lewis. Congratulations, 2018 enshrinee, Ray Lewis. Randy Moss. Randy was a 1st-round pick of the Vikings in the 1998 draft. He was named the NFL's AP Offensive Rookie of the Year after 69 catches, 1,313 yards, and a league-high 17 touchdowns. He set the NFL record with 23 touchdown receptions in his first season with the Patriots. He started in 4 conference championship games and 2 Super Bowls and registered 10 or more touchdown catches a season in 9 times in his career. He also led the NFL in touchdown receptions 5 times and selected to the NFL All-Decade Team of the 2000s. Randy was born in Rand, West Virginia, and was presented by his son, Thaddeus Moss. Congratulations, 2018 enshrinee, Randy Moss. also have some other football legends with us in the room at table 154. We got Jim Taylor, Dave Robinson, and Linda Brown, the wife of Rosie Brown. Let's give them a round of applause as well. All right, we're also pleased to have some special people with us today at the head table. Please join me in greeting Jim Porter, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Canton Regional Chamber of Commerce. Dennis Saunier, the President and CEO of the Canton Regional Chamber of Commerce. Doug Freilich, the General Vice Chairman of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Enshrinement Festival. And also, we couldn't get all of them here at the head table, but the biggest round of applause to the 4,500 volunteers in the community who helped make this week's events possible. Yes. Love it. Love it. Okay, now we got to keep moving. Now this is the really cool part, because now we get to introduce the 2018 Pro Football Hall of Fame Enshrinement Festival Queen and Royal Ambassadors. These young ladies have done a wonderful job serving as role models and goodwill ambassadors throughout the community. And this year's Royal Ambassadors include Yasmin Ajekum, Emerson Cowles, Riley Ditmore, Maria Newland, McKenna Remanerick, and now that we have met the Royal Ambassadors, let's greet the Queen of the 2018 Pro Football Hall of Fame Enshrinement Festival, Amani Bush. Thank you to all 6 of these young ladies for representing the Pro Football Hall of Fame Enshrinement Festival this year. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Guy Ruda, the General Chairman of the 2018 Pro Football Hall of Fame Enshrinement Festival, including Enshrinement Week powered by Johnson Controls.
Good afternoon. Today's kind of a relaxed atmosphere since you arrived to our community. You've experienced a whirlwind of activity while in Canton. Are you breathing a little easier today? Now and forever, you will be honored as a hero of the game. Your football history will be preserved. The values which you stand will be promoted, and your excellence will be celebrated everywhere. With the help of our extraordinary core of 4,000 plus volunteers, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and the Canton Regional Chamber of Commerce, I think you will realize Canton is truly your home. Your immortality is now and forever preserved at 2121 George Hallis Drive. We're so glad that you are here with us today at this great event. We're able to produce these type of events because of the generosity of many sponsors. Special thanks to the following sponsors who have provided major support for this event. The Canton Repository, Diebold Nixdorf Incorporated, Fred Oliveri Construction Company, Hall of Fame Village, Huntington Bank, Malone University, Marathon Petroleum, Northeastern Ohio Medical University, and SARTA. Now, on behalf of those sponsors and our team of volunteers that I have been a part of for the past 35 years and have the distinct honor to have led the past 2 years, I say to you, gentlemen, now, as I said on Friday night, welcome home.
Thanks a lot, Guy. All right, next up, and it is always an honor because to be standing here on the stage, I have to be invited to do it. And I'm flattered every time, especially from the fact that I'm asked by this next man I'm about to introduce, who I consider a great friend and a great man, the president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, David Baker.
Steve, let me start by saying that you're invited back every year. Thank you. We love you. As is Rich Eisen for the Gold Jacket Dinner, and Chris Berman, who is retired now but travels all the way back from Hawaii just to do this one event at the enshrinement last night. Hear, hear. To our partners at the NFL Network, NBC, and ESPN, thank you for taking this magic that happens here in Canton and broadcasting it to the rest of the world so they can love this game as much as we do, so they can understand this legacy and how we want to keep it here as much as we do. You know, we had 6 speeches last night, and we're still trying to refine this because we were doing it overnight, but the word love was used 148 times. Isn't that incredible? This is a game. These careers, these men, they're guys who love each other. They love the game. They love what it taught them. They were ahead of the curve on issues like race. They learned what it was to be a team together, and we can all learn from their journey so that we can be better businessmen or businesswomen or fathers or mothers or a better community or a better nation. And we are so grateful to all of you fans who came here to Canton to experience that, and we love you. We're especially thankful to all of our leadership, like Randy Hunt with the Board of Directors, and Denny Saunders and Jim Porter with the Chamber of Commerce, for your leadership in making this happen, for my staff at the Hall of Fame and the Chamber staff, and again, for these 4,800 volunteers, many of whom take 2 weeks of vacation just so that they can tell you how much we love you. Hear, hear. 77 events over 10 weeks with 4,800 volunteers and 6 national broadcasts. We want to thank our fire officers, our police officers. Mayor, the police department has done a wonderful job. The sheriff's department, here, here. I don't want to jinx this, okay? So I'm knocking on wood. But this is my 5th year of doing this. We've got one more wonderful night tonight with the Concert for Legends with Maroon 5. But so far in those 5 years, with all of you coming to town, with the parade that has 300,000 people in it, we have had 2 arrests in 5 years. Isn't that incredible? So let me address the elephant in the room if I can. I'm not disappointed by Terrell Owens. I'm disappointed for Terrell Owens. And I want to say that he is welcome here every day for the rest of his life, because we're going to keep his legacy alive just like these other gentlemen we're going to do for them. But we want you to know we love you, and where else does this happen except in Canton, Ohio?
Very well said, David, because everybody in this class of 2018 has earned the right to have that bust in football heaven. All right, next up, I'd like to introduce the presenter of the 50th Annual Hall of Fame Photo Contest, the Dave Boss Award of Excellence, Randy Hunt, Chairman of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Board of Trustees.
Thanks, Steve. And thank you, Dave Baker, for your leadership. We love you, too. The 2017 season of the National Football League marked the 50th anniversary of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Photo Contest. Each year, thousands of images are submitted by professional photographers for our contest. From those images submitted, first, second, and third place winners are selected in two categories: feature and action. The images are reviewed by a distinguished panel of judges comprised of nationally acclaimed photographers and photo editors. And from those winners, we select a photograph of the year. The Dave Boss Award of Excellence, named in honor of the late NFL Properties Vice President and Curative Director, is awarded each year to the photographer who submitted the photograph of the year. I am now honored and pleased to present the two first-place images from this year's contest. First place, and they're on your screens, first place in the action category is Take Off for Six, which was submitted by Logan Bowles of the National Football League. First place in the feature category is Eagle Eye, which was submitted by Rob Carr of Getty Images. Rob's photo, Eagle Eye, was also judged to be, and rightly so, the photograph of the year. Rob is a graduate of Eastern Kentucky University, where he began his career in the late 1980s working for a small daily newspaper in Frankfort, Kentucky. He then worked for the Associated Press in Alabama and Baltimore, where he covered both news and sports, before joining Getty Images in 2011. Would you please join me in welcoming and recognizing Rob Carr as this year's winner of the Dave Boss Award of Excellence.
Thank you. Being here and winning this award kind of takes me back to 1986 when I shot my first NFL game. It was a preseason game between the Jets and the Bengals. And I'll never forget it. I was standing on the sidelines and I was shooting warm-ups. And this guy tapped me on the shoulder. He wanted to look through my camera. And I remember I looked over, and then I looked up, and I kept looking up, and it was Anthony Munoz. And I was like, wow, he's a big guy. That said, fast forward 32 years later, it's quite the honor and privilege to be here to win this award, to be in the same room with people like Anthony Munoz and the other award winners it's a pretty special deal. I want to thank the Hall of Fame for providing such a great weekend and a great bunch of volunteers like you guys mentioned. It's a wonderful event. The contest is great. It's a great showcase for the images that are made every year by a bunch of talented photographers in the area, in the country. And I want to thank my employer, Getty Images, for giving me the opportunity every Sunday, sometimes Monday, a lot of times Thursday, to photograph NFL. Thank you all.
Okay, here we go. So we got some of the housekeeping and nice things out of the way. Now it is time to bring up our 4 gold jackets where you guys can hear some stories, maybe shed some tears, get some laughs. Dr. Doom, Robert Brazil, come on, man. Okay, Jerry Kramer, we want you up here too. We need you. I think you're over here, and there's a microphone right there. Ray Lewis, come on. Let's go, Randy Moss. We need you up here. Come on, Randy. Okay, everybody, we're going to start out with the first question for you, Jerry, because you had to wait an awful long time to get here.
Grab your mic, Jerry. Grab your mic.
Jerry, your mic is right there to the left. And what's kind of cool about us 4 being up here is we've got 2 guys who had to wait combined more than 70 years to get in the hall. We've got 2 guys who got in on the first ballot. Wow. So, Jerry, when you think about your journey, and then you also look at these 2 first ballot Hall of Famers up here on the stage, what about this class? What about how long you had to wait, but still how good it must feel to know you're in Canton?
Well, my little emotional boat got all tippy there in the middle of things, and I got my lip out, and I actually drove by Canton, the hall, 3 or 4, 5, 6 different times, but I wouldn't go in because I hadn't been invited. So it was an emotional thing, you know, and I finally sat down with myself one day and said, hey, donkey, life has been pretty good. The game has given you 100 presents, wonderful compliments, wonderful moments, wonderful team, wonderful coach, wonderful turnip. The whole thing has just been a great ride. And so are you going to let one honor you didn't get spoil the other 100? Well, that would be kind of stupid, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. So I decided that life was fine, like it was wonderful, and if I got in, fine. If I didn't get in, fine. But in either event, I was going to enjoy it. And this last nomination, to me, I took it as a singular event, a nomination, and nothing else. And I cherished it, and I loved it, and I wallowed in it and enjoyed it. And if I got into the hall, wonderful. If I didn't get into the hall, wonderful. It was another present. So I learned to deal with it, and it took some time, and I thought I was prepared, and I thought I understood what it was all about and how it was going to be. And I was telling the guys that it was like taking a canoe in a small pond, which you thought was a small pond, and you're going to paddle across the pond, and you find out you're in the ocean. And you're about 50 miles from shore, and you're going, where the hell is the land? Where is Where is everything? And it's just that much bigger. And it was such a joy and such a treasure and such a wonderful class to be a part of. I've watched this guy and this guy and this guy for years and years and years, and got to know them this week and got to love them and appreciate them. They're beautiful human beings.
That's awesome. Now, Randy, when you hear that, you've met Jerry. I've seen you guys having a lot of conversations. You understand his career and you understand the man a little bit better now. But how much does it hit you knowing he had to wait as long as he did and you were able to get in on the first ballot?
Man, I just seeing what he went through, just seeing the history of the game. I did some events during Super Bowl week in Minnesota, and I kept Saturday. I had 2 events where they asked me the question, well, what would you do if you wouldn't get in on the first ballot? And just like Mr. Kramer said, he prepared himself for the good and for the bad. And I told my wife that if my name is not called or I do not get that knock on the door, we still got to live our lives. And I've never been a type of guy to go up and down, just try to stay even keel. And this week has been great. And before I get out of here, I think Mr. Baker, his staff, 4,500 volunteers.
Isn't that
awesome? I'm speaking on the behalf of the fellas. It's been a great week. We had security, cars, food, the hospitality, Mr. Baker, thank you, has been great. Thank you, Canton.
Okay, Robert, you've been here for a few days now. Has there been anything that has happened that maybe we haven't seen publicly or whatever, or a conversation you had with a gold jacket or a family member that has really taken you back or really made you just say, wow, you know, I feel appreciated or I feel sad, whatever? Has there been something that happened that you didn't expect?
I didn't get a knock on the door this time. You know, my stir's been inside of me for years. My first visit to Canton was terrifying for me. I had prepared myself all summer for this. I tried to keep it in. I didn't tell no one but my wife about my visit to Canton. But I knew one day deep inside I wanted to get here. I wanted my parents to witness their son being inducted to the Hall of Fame. That knock on the door, y'all, it killed me. I love football so much. When that coach told me that I wasn't going to start, that killed my spirit. But it's, you know, God works in a funny way. My mom knew something was on me. She said, whatever it is, one day you're going to tell me. Just give it to God. One Sunday, after eating dinner, I was headed out like every Sunday we go over there eat dinner. I'm headed out the house. She said, hey, come here, sit down. Luckily, this young man was on TV. She said, you see that 52 right there? He can play. Sit down. I said, Mother, I got something to do. She said, no, what? I ain't gonna tell you no more, sit down. So I sit down. In 3 plays, this guy made me start watching football again. I want to tell you personally, I love you for giving me that love I once had. You can wear 52.
Ray, you can't just sit there and stay silent to that. What do you got to say?
Steve, y'all got to stop this, man. I can't keep crying. Wow. Look, the Gold Jacket Luncheon. We talked about this, Jerry, just over there, Randy. If you knew all egos are out the door, and the greatest men, athletes is one thing, but when I tell you the men, humbly, we walked in that room as first time and couldn't say a word. back to a rookie again. And that's hard for me not to say nothing, because I need to say something. Because, Rand, I wanted to just speak one time, but I understood it. And we was talking about this. It don't matter where I'm from. It don't matter my race. It don't matter none of what I make. The only thing that matters is we're brothers. We're a team. And I have never been introduced to what I was introduced sitting in that room and watching these conversations happen. I mean, it's that now I see why they really call it football heaven. Because there's a glimpse when I was in that room of what I truly believe heaven is like. All of the spirits are having these conversations. And man, I'm telling you, the relationship I have with Robert Brazil and his daddy, he's the cleanest man I've ever seen. When I tell you,
Thank you.
Pops came in the other day with that Snow White on.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yesterday he came with that baby blue. But the whole class, man, like our whole class, B-Dog, Urlacher, like T.O., man, that's talent. That is talent. Jerry Creighton, Bobby Bett, that's talent. I watched Randy Moss. I used to watch Randy Moss so much. I'm like, what? How you do that? You can't catch a ball with one arm and then look at somebody like that. And then me and him always tell this story, right? You want to tell it, you want me to tell it?
Finish the story. Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead. Because it's going to sound better coming from you. Go on.
We're playing in the game, and Randy comes up, right? He's running this route, high low combo route. He comes underneath, and I'm like, oh, I know this route they finna run. I know this play, right? So I take the tight end up like I'm finna do, and I stop, and I say, Randy coming, and I start coming downhill. Randy, he saw me coming. He say, look, he say.
True story.
True story.
True story.
There is film on that play, Randy.
Basically, Mr. Baker, I had to live to fight another day.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. That is okay. So you guys are talking about it. The two guys who couldn't make it with us today that you played against, Brian Dawkins, Randy. You went across the middle on him a few times too. What about what he brought to the game?
One thing that I look at being an offensive player is game planning for a defender. B-Dog, Ray, those are the type of guys that deserve the jacket when you go out here not really you respect the other 10, but you're really paying attention to one. Brian Dawkins was one of those players you needed to know. Urlacher, Ray Lewis, you need to know where they were at all times. Y'all always hear coaches, analysts, commentators always talk about that player that you always need to be accounted for that play. There's nothing that Brian Dawkins couldn't do on that field. Interceptions, roam the middle, blitz, tackle any person on the field. That's why I am so glad to be able to be a part of the best Hall of Fame class in NFL history.
Did you go down? Did you take one like you did against Ray?
With Brian Dawkins and that defense, their pass rush was getting back there. But with Ray Lewis, no, I didn't slide like that. But I had to pick and choose when to go out of bounds on Brian Dawkins and when to stay in the bounds. But listen, 14 years, 6'4", I'm a basketball player. Hey, I had to pick and choose when to go out of bounds and to stay in bounds. If I'd have been just kamikaze, man, it'd been a short career.
So, Robert, what's it like when you see three linebackers going into the Hall of Fame at once? You all had different styles, but you all made your impact.
I did my research and started watching old films. We got really 4 linebackers. Brian Dawkins could play linebackers also. You know, I asked the question to myself first, who would make the tackle? I got Ray Lewis in the middle, Brian Urlacher, and I'm going to put D. Dawkins on the other side. I think Rob Brazil will make that tackle.
Really? Really? Hold on.
Wait, 5-2.
Why?
Listen,
Wait.
Listen. We supposed to be corporate and happy today.
We all gonna make this happen. No, see, I mean, honestly, I can't see, I saw myself making the tackle, but it depended on where the ball was going that route. Because you got four of the best, I think, at linebacker.
Okay, now suppose it was a lead run and Jerry Kramer's coming at one of you.
I'm gonna let Ray handle him.
No, I'm gonna let my defensive tackle handle him, man. Don't be hitting me.
Hey, Jerry, Ray says something interesting about the Nishki luncheon, about the brotherhood. It doesn't matter race or where you're from. And we were talking earlier, and you played for a head coach in Vince Lombardi who would not tolerate racial inequity. Black players roomed with white players. If there was a restaurant in Green Bay that wouldn't serve black players, he would call and say, no Packers player or fan is going to solicit your restaurant. What about what football did to bring races together, to bring people together, to make them learn from one another? And how can that message, because we see it so prevalent in society today, especially the way it's interacted with the NFL, and I want everybody to chime in on this.
Well, there's I think, a very simple solution to the prejudice situation. I think we need to talk more. We ought to say hello, how you doing, what you been up to, just a conversation.
Is it talk more or listen more?
Combination. Once you say something, then you shut up and listen and wait for a response, right?
Sorry to interrupt you, Jerry.
But I roomed with Willie Davis for a year, and he's been my lifelong pal for 50 years. And he taught me a lot about life and about the black community and their values and their things. And they're the same as my values and my things. There's not any difference in their morals, my morals, their hopes, my hopes, their dreams, my dreams. They're just like me. If we could just somehow spend a little more time together, and I think maybe this whole problem starts way back in our ancient brain when we were a tribal group and another person from another tribe came over, maybe with a bone in his lip or something, right? And who is this? This is a stranger. It's a new guy, and so you kind of pull in and you pull back and you wait to see what happens. And the guy goes, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Fred." And he shakes hands with you and you go, "Hell, the guy's all right. He's fine." You know, but the handshake was, I think, part of that. You shake hands, you don't have a spear, you don't have a knife, you're not armed at all. So I think as a group of football fans, I think there's something we can do together to reduce the tension in our world today and make things just a little bit better for all of us. And that's what our teams did. They judged people by their contribution to the game, period.
That was very interesting in here, just being with the four of us. He's been in the National Football League the longest, and, for me to be able to tell my story, be able to put it on ESPN's 30 for 30 of, my trials and tribulations of how I had to overcome adversity and racism. And I think the game of football, being in the locker room, the locker room sees no color. It's just a helmet. And I'm not made out for telling stories and telling lies, but we're all one. Last night, y'all seen my speech about any coach, any player, equipment manager, trainer. If you've ever played with me, please stand up. You didn't hear me say one lick of race in my speech, because at the end of the day, we're there for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to win. So for Mr. Kramer to start it off, that there is a lot of racism and prejudice in this country, and I think with these gold jackets, we have to be able to utilize the strength of this jacket. And whoever's listening, you all in this room, starts with us. It starts with us. And let me finish this. And you do not have to have a football helmet on or a pair of basketball shoes to be able to understand the word love, Mr. Baker. So hopefully you all can understand where we're trying to take this. We're going all around the country, all around the world, and try to inspire. You say, Mr. Baker, the greatest place on earth to inspire others? Gold Jacket.
Randy, my story is a little different. You know, I'm from a little place called Alabama. It's really called Whistler, Alabama. But my parents was raised in a Baptist church, and they didn't teach color. They taught me people, how to treat people. When they segregated the schools in Mobile, Alabama, I had to go to a high school. I was 5 blacks in this high school of 3,000. I was scared, but it was a challenge for me, and it's changed my life. First of all, I wasn't a scholar, so I had to get my homework. I had to go in and get in the book so I couldn't be embarrassed in class. You know my football ability. If you could line up in front of me, you did. No, true story. But it prepared me for life, Randy. I got a chance to shower with a guy I had never seen of different color. I got a chance to talk to a girl of different color. But, through all of that, my family right now, I got 3 blacks and 4 whites, kids. So, but I don't call them that. Those are what? My kids. They're not black and white. And I love them all. I got 2 granddaughters. I don't understand because they speak Spanish. So when they say something to Robert, I really listen because I don't know what the next word's going to be.
You know, it's the elephant in the room is always the thing I love to point out first, right? It's kind of how I played the game. Always studied and found out where that one weakness was, right? And the weakness that we're talking about is just a choice. That's all it is. Yeah, racism exists. I saw it on both sides, majority of my career. And there was a choice. When God says all men are created equal, ain't no color to that. Now, are there people that don't do that the right way? Absolutely. There's good, there's evil. There's right, there's wrong. But what this game done for me and what we're able to do to our country, we walk in a locker room together and nobody never looks one time and look at another person and say, oh, I can't, wait, really? It's not even a thought. It's the one universal language that we all as a country, that's why in my speech, I couldn't tell you about what I've done because this is not about what I've done. This is about where I'm headed. And I want our country to go in a different direction. Oh, really? If you've never walked in a person's shoes, don't ever judge them. Because you never know what somebody's dealing with.
Amen.
Yeah. And just to follow up, because me and Jerry are sitting there talking, do you know, seriously, even with what I know about racism, even when I know that people may look at me a certain way because of my skin color, and I can come and sit next to this man who waited all of these years to get something in life, and me and you was blessed to walk in our first time. So my duty is to pay honor to him because he paved the way, whether he white, black, Hispanic.
Well
yes,
said.
sir.
Well said. Well said. Okay. Now we're going to bring it back. Randy, I'm going to start with you, and you guys pick it up wherever. Toughest player you ever played against. It could be on any level, high school, college, NFL, practice, whatever. It's coming around to everybody because you usually get something good out of this question.
I say my toughest competitor. I had some battles with Darrelle Revis, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I think, but the 2 times that I played against him, Sean Taylor. Okay. Sean Taylor. And the reason why is because he came in early, a lot of hype, very good. And all he kept telling me is, every time you catch the ball, I'm going to try and kill you. So.
Them Hurricanes, boy, I tell you.
Is that what it is? So there's one play where we're in Washington, maybe 30, 35-yard line. So Culpepper drops back, throws the ball in the end zone. Sean has great position, but somehow I needed that ball more than he did because he said, every time you catch that ball, I'm going to kill you. So I caught the ball. So he looked up. He said, did you catch that? I looked at him and said, you damn right I did. Got up and spiked the ball. So I'm going with Sean Taylor, man.
Who you got first, Jerry? Who's the toughest guy you wrangled with?
Oh, boy. There's
I
one
need
every
to hear
Sunday,
this.
it seems like, you know. Start with Artie Donovan. Baltimore was a shaker and a mover, and he was a matador. He weighed about 300 pounds, like most of my opponents did. But he was very experienced. It was my rookie year. So it took a little while to just figure that you just needed to wait on Artie and let him shake as long as he wanted. And then when he moved, you moved instead of trying to hit him, right? A guy named Leo Nomalini from San Francisco. 6'5", 6'6", 265, professional wrestler. Had a voice like a mule. He was in the hall. He was a wonderful football player and great upper body strength and wrestling experience and everything going for him. But he made one little mistake that changed my life. When he was going inside, he'd have his right foot back. When he was going outside, he'd put his feet parallel so he could step better with his left foot. So I knew which way he was going or what he was doing on every play. And I didn't tell anybody about it for years, right? But he was a great football player. A kid named Charlie Kruger, Texas A&M, 6'5", 270, lean, mean, and just never quit. Top 2 were Alex Karras and Merlin Olsen. Those were the best.
Who you got, Ray? Okay, go ahead,
Ray.
Because I want to hear who you got.
You really want to hear this?
Yes.
First of all, I slept with the best 2 running backs in the world. Earl Cameron and Walter Payton.
Wow.
Wait a minute. In different beds now. I had my bed, they had their bed. Clear this up.
We were all looking. We were all thinking.
Let's clear this up. When I got to Houston, Vaughn Phillips said, we don't play the Houston Oilers, so we never tackle. So I never had the opportunity to put doom on Earl. Every time I got close to him, he'll blow the whistle. All right, I told you we do not play the Houston Oilers. The Houston Oilers is not on our schedule. We play everybody else. So the hardest one I ever worried about, Walter Payton.
Walter Payton, there you go. Okay.
Wow. Man, wow. I'm going to go with 2. I wouldn't say the hardest player I ever played against, but I'm only going to mention, I don't know his name at all, but I'm only going to mention this guy because he actually made me want to play defense. He's the reason I played defense. So I was catching a kickoff return one day in Kathleen, and I dropped the ball. And it was raining, and I was trying to pick the ball up, but by the time I picked the ball up, this number 50 from Bartow, he hit me square in my helmet, and my whole eye closed, and I was like, I'm never playing offense when I go to the next level. Hell no. I hit people. I cannot be hit like that. But when I got to the league And wow, right? When I get to the league, Pittsburgh Nation is like a thorn.
Yes.
My size. And I'm like, God darn it. But the culture was so rich. It was so rich. And I wanted that culture because in Baltimore, we was just getting back to Baltimore. And I wanted that culture, and that culture came through Damani Dawson.
Ooh.
Let me tell you something.
Another gold jacket?
Let me tell you something about my battles against Damani Dawson. Damani Dawson gave me headaches because I was this young kid. Miami wanted to run around everywhere, but he was more of a technician. Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, right? One is a master, one is really good. And I'm sitting there, and I started to realize first year, second year, I went to Marvin Lewis, and I said, Marv, listen, man, how do I beat Damani Dawson? Because he would always cut the defense in half. And if the linebacker goes behind the block, then the defense is cut in half. But I thought I was quick enough to go behind the block and then still get back on track. But his angles of the game, Jerry, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For him to jump, 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 and I'm shuffle, shuffle, I can't beat him because I'm at 5. 96, 97, 98, it's the same things. If right hand goes down, is he coming more right? If the ball is a lot higher, if he comes. So all of these little tangibles that people don't think, that's all we focus on. So if the ball is a little higher, I'm saying he got to be in pass. But if that ball is a little bit low, I'm saying Damani going to stop. 1998, 97, 98 is when it finally changed. I went from playing Damani from 5 yards, and I went to 3 yards. I say because I got to get to him. If I get to him early, I can stack him and then get by him. But Damani Dawson changed my perspective on studying who you're playing. Okay. Yeah, Damani.
Make your linebacker move.
Okay. All right, Ray, we're going to start this with you, and we're going to end it with Jerry because I know we're going to get some unbelievable answers here. Worst thing a coach has ever said to you, something that just hurt you so bad.
Yeah, I will. I never tell you who it is. But I never thought that a coach would ever just try to crush a player. And I was a little older. I don't want to say where it was because it'll kind of point to coach, but
if it's in the NFL, Ray, we can pretty much figure it out.
No, it definitely wasn't in the league. It wasn't in the league. Heck no. In the league, I was grown. No, it wasn't in the league before that. And he said to me, I came out to practice one day. Wow, goes back to when I had to really suck it up. He said the most racist and hurtful thing I've ever said in my life. He tore me up, like inside. He said, you'll never make it. Why you think your daddy ain't around? Ray, black kids don't, really? You'll be selling drugs. Trust me. And I looked at him, I said, what? Really? Man, that, to this day. Yeah. Crazy, but anyway.
Robert?
You know my answer. I got that knock on the door. First of all, I admired and respected all of my coaches. And I still do with the guy that knocked on my door. He had a job to do, but that was the most devastating thing for me. I love this game so much, and I want to play in the Hall of Fame. Lawrence Taylor was at that game that day, and I figured me and Lawrence was going to show out. When I got that knock on the door that I wasn't starting, and I didn't get a chance to show Lawrence who was the real outside linebacker, that killed me, man.
Ready?
Oof. I don't really have nothing, man.
Okay,
I mean, I just love competing. That's basically it. I mean, there was probably some things said, but I probably gave a few words back. So I would probably say I don't really have nothing, but just listen to the stories, man. I say nothing.
Vince Lombardi never said anything that hurt your feelings.
He was
did he?
very quiet fellow.
Very positive
Yeah.
guy.
Well, I told this story last night, but it's maybe worth telling again. Some of the people haven't heard it. We're having a scrimmage in July. It's 95, 100% humidity. We're scrimmaging the defense, which has been watching our plays for 9 years, and they are stuffing us. And we've been out there for about 10 or 12 pounds, and it's getting to 15. that you lose on an afternoon like that, right? And I miss a block, and I come in for some attention. And a few plays later, I jump off sides. And he comes running across the field, and he gets about 10 inches from my nose, and he goes, "Mister, the concentration period of college students 5 minutes, high school is 3 minutes, kindergarten is 30 seconds, and you don't have that, so where's that put you?" So I got my head down checking my shoe shine, right? And we finished the scrimmage a few minutes later and go up in the locker room and shuck my hat and shoulder pads off and studying the carpet for about 40 minutes. He'd been out working with Bart and the wide receivers, and I am deep in what am I going to do next? Am I going to give up football and try something else, or maybe another team? Never going to be able to play for this guy, so I'm going to have to go somewhere. And I'd been there for 40 minutes, and he walks in the door, comes down the length of the locker room, pats me on the head, pushes my head a little bit, slaps me on the shoulder. "Son, one of these days you're going to be the best guard in football." And it was that approval and that belief that changed my life.
That guy, because this is the way God works and energy works. That guy apologized to me.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. His conscience got him.
Well, we're friends.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's a question that it might take you a minute to think about it. So whoever goes last. No, this is it's not hard. Robert, I'm going to start with you. Someone who is not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame who you think deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Wow. I need to use the bathroom.
I've thought about it. One has already came in with me, Bon Phillips. The next one, Billy White Shoes Johnson.
Okay. All right.
Go Randy, man.
Anybody?
Not me.
Anybody?
Yeah, I got a couple guys. Bob Skoronski was our left tackle, and he was the highest graded tackle on the club, and he's not in the Hall. Ron Kramer was one of the great athletes in the history of the game. He high jumped. He was a tight end. He was an All-American basketball player. He high jumped 6'8", threw the shot put 60 feet, and was just a 260-pound tight end in a time of 230-pound tight ends. And he ran like a deer. And he was one of the best football players and best athletes I think I've ever seen. And there's also that guy from Detroit, that fella named Karras. He belongs.
All right. Either one of you? Anyone you can think of? Anybody who might be coming up?
You know what? If probably two people that I played against that I think were just, dynamic in the league, just wow. It's probably Fred Taylor and Eddie George.
Yeah, your battles with Eddie George now.
When I tell you I had to go from, I was about what, 220, 215, 220, probably 97, 98. I was kind of more slim and whatever. And my linebacker coach looked at me one day and he was like, "Boy, you built like a Greek god. You won't last 2 years in this league." and that was Maxie Vaughn, right? My first linebacker coach. Because I was dealing with, in my division, I was dealing with Jerome Bettis twice, Corey Dillon twice, Eddie George twice, and Fred Taylor twice. And this back in the day, Moss, when they running it 40 times. Yeah. So those two guys, me and Eddie had one of the greatest battles. Yes. I'm talking about, Leonard Hearns. Just every time we saw each other, I knew he was going to run it. He knew I was going to run it. So by my third year, my coach came to me and said, "Look, there's no way you're going to survive in this division unless you put on some pounds." That's when I went from 225, 245. By 2000, I was at 260 with 5% body fat because I was thumping then. But Eddie George and Fred Taylor, to me, I don't know. Check their resume, check their numbers, man. But those two hell of a players.
They got the numbers.
They got the numbers.
Just thinking of that, Fred Taylor came in. We came in together. And the season that I had is well documented, but he did finish second in Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely.
So he had a phenomenal career. Fred Taylor does have the number. I was just sitting here trying to think, but you said Eddie George and Fred Taylor. I would have to say Fred Taylor, man. He had a phenomenal career.
Phenomenal.
So hopefully one day, and I will be here for his induction.
There you go. Randy, let me ask you this. These guys here got to play their careers with one franchise. You jumped around to a couple franchises. What do you think you gained by playing for so many different clubs? I mean, you hear different coaches, you got different teammates, you play with different quarterbacks. How do you think playing for a variety of clubs helped you get to Canton?
I think just understanding to appreciate every moment that you really have working in the National Football League. You can put all your heart and soul, all your loyalty into an organization, here today and gone tomorrow. So you heard me talking last night about I wouldn't change anything in 14-year career. Who in football past would not want to spend the rest of their career with the team that brought them in? But just being able to travel down that long road, to be able to meet a lot of great people. I met a lot. You heard me talking about Dante Scarnecchi last night. I mean, this man didn't even have to write me a note. I'm gone. I just left. So this man didn't have to write me a note of what I meant to him and all those things. So I think for me and my journey has to be the people and the relationships that I developed on the way. Because, man, I'm a small town country boy, man. Y'all heard me. You heard the tears. You heard the emotion. And man, I didn't never have anything to look forward to. So being able to meet people, get to know people, was one of the best things as far as the money. Straight cash, that is.
There it is. Okay, now hold up real quick, because Randy said he's small town country boy, and let us know last night he's got something going on back home in West Virginia. So this is the last question.
What time is it? What time is it?
Yeah, we got to get out of here in about 5 minutes. But I just want to ask all of you, and Robert, we'll start with you. What's been the best part about this weekend?
Do I have to say anything? Standing in that spot. You know, Luther made a song, I Want to Dance with My Dad once more. I danced with my dad. I kissed my dad. I embraced my dad. I made my dad proud. Not only that, I got a surprise for my mother also.
All right. Ray?
It's my family. It's watching my mother raise this young boy with all the unknown. And every step of the way, I always tell her every day, I'm not finished. I just want to keep making you smile. And my kids, to experience their whole life and now get on this side of it. That's why sometimes the greatest pain ever pushes you to understand how great you can be. My son, one of my sons, took a picture. He didn't know what it meant. But when he took a picture at my party with Lawrence Taylor, that's my son. He'll never understand what that did for me as a father, because Lawrence Taylor, to me, that's the guy I wanted to be growing up. So man, this whole weekend, and the only other thing that really changed my perspective about this whole other weekend is like finding out that you have extended family that you've never met. This guy right here, we will be doing so much together. We will be talking, we're gonna be hanging out. Me and this man here, we already planning fishing trips and golf things and everything. And I'm telling you, me and Jerry, we just need to hang out and just chill.
Jerry, best part of the weekend?
Combination of things, I guess. Being with the guys has been eye-opening and wonderful and just sensational. Couldn't ask for more. My family's here too. I've got 6 children, a grandchild, some nieces and nephews, and just a flock of Kramer kids hanging around here. And that's wonderful. That's near and dear to my heart, and it's probably the most important thing in my life now. friends came in from Idaho, flew all night and all day, and from all over the country. There was just a tremendous number of people that wanted to come and share this with me. And those people warmed my heart, and it made it so much more enjoyable to be here with your family and your friends and the people you knew. You don't really get that opportunity very often. You often get an award and there's 2 or 3 people you might know, but that's it. With this, there's 200 people we know and appreciate being here, and I appreciate them being here, and that's part of the best part for me.
Excellent.
I think for me, 2 things. One, I've always told my children about my career, and they sort of never believed me. And it was definitely gratifying to see for the first time my children understanding that I just wasn't daddy, that I was something a little different outside of the house. And lastly, you've always heard me, well, for the last couple months, you've heard me say I did something right. You know, for 14 years, I played in the league and been playing the game since I was 6, and I thought I knew how to play it. And for 14 years, as you just heard me allude to, just more of the things written and said about me that was never true, because I just love the game. And just to be here all week and see the National Football League fans show me the love that I thought I never had. Mr. Baker, that's another word, love. So to all y'all, with all the applause, all the love, my family appreciates you. Thank you.
That's great. I'm going to put a button on this, and Ray and Randy, you were there for it. One of the greatest moments I've ever seen. We were sitting in this room back here in the gold jacket ceremony, and Chris Dolman, a gold jacket who's not doing well, his caretaker wheeled him by us, and he extended a hand to Ray, extended a hand to Randy, because we were sitting right here. And he said, "Welcome to the greatest family you'll ever have." He said, "I'm sick, and the Hall of Fame has been here for me. They have been here for my family, and that now that you're part of the family, I know you got my back." Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Brazile, Ray Lewis, Jerry Kramer, Randy Moss, members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2018. And don't forget, you've got these photo balls on your table. You can purchase those around there as well. Pictures of the class of 2018. Thank you, everybody. You guys are fantastic.